Hello world, how are you all doing? I hope you're all doing great and welcome to another episode of developing the Open Focus Timer, and we are already at part 33, which is amazing. And I haven't been streaming for 2 weeks, I think, and that's mostly because I had a lot of things on my table, on my plate, and there is a lot of things going on also. Currently I'm in the phase of finishing my first app as an indie developer. So that's the one thing that's taken most of the time. Now, just yesterday, let's go through these things. So this is my Medium blog, if you're following me there. Also, there will be a Swift Evolution monthly new issues soon. I haven't written one about in August, mainly because there was not many new things for app developers that are coming via Swift Evolution. So new proposals, they are more like low-level topics, or one of them is even just adding documentation and not changing anything in Swift. It's just a change to the documentation. So yeah, really small things, and that's why I waited. And I will write one very soon for the end of this month. But the thing that was taking my time is trying to finish up my first app, RemaFox, and now the fourth and last beta is now available. So if you want to check it out, this is pretty much a complete version of the app. I'm just going to prepare it for the App Store now, so I can actually make it available to everyone and document things and prepare some marketing material and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of bugs fixed that I got as feedback, or both from people who tested the app. So thank you for that, everyone who tested the app. And also I tested the app myself with some open source projects, and that's how I found out about these. And I also, if you're not following this account at RemaFox_app on Twitter, make sure to follow that as well to stay up to date with all the developments of my first application. And you can see the two projects, open source projects, where I applied it. Maybe we can quickly have a look at one of them. So for example, for DuckDuckGo, and you can just have a look at the files changed. So you can see what kind of things I did there, or how a migration to RemaFox from like standard looks like. And you can see it's removing like a white space at the end, because they're using the normalizer feature, and it adds just one empty line, but this project had always two empty lines at the end. And this is the RemaFox config file, if you want to learn about that. And then you can see how things change. So in this project, they actually had a enum file where they had all the constants for all the localizables, and they called that user text. And I didn't migrate the entire project. I just showed some examples of how this can look like, and this is exactly one of these examples. So with RemaFox, you would have a call to loc, which stands for localization, and then the name of the key. So their key was I believe app.authentication.unlock or something like that. And then it turns it into an enum. That's the work that RemaFox does. And you can reference it safely like this with autocompletion and everything you need there. And in other places also I added another example with parameters, so it has obviously support for parameters as well, and things like that. There's even named parameters, which I think I do have an example as well. There you go. This is a named parameter, so you can even give them names. So it's clear when the developer calls it that this parameter is supposed to be the letter. And yeah, it's much clearer than just remembering the order. All right, but the other big news that is changing my life, at least, is that I have been wanting to go to Japan for a very long time with my wife, actually. So we were trying to, we actually want to live there for a while. And before we do that, we figured we should really learn the language and really know the language. And we also want to travel, because she just completed her studies. At the end of last year, and since then we want to actually go to Japan and just travel the country and learn the language, like a language learning travel kind of holiday. And we want to do it for a longer time, because you can't learn a language in just 2 weeks or so. And yeah, we waited for Japan to reopen, and yesterday they finally reopened, which is amazing. So I'm really happy about this. I've been waiting for this for a very long time. And you can read here that they had like a daily entry cap, and that's what they are no longer going to have starting October 11th. And also they will resume the visa-free individual trips to the country, not for all countries, but all countries before the pandemic who had that will be able to do that again. And Germany, the country where I live in, was part of that. So we could travel to Japan without any visa, and now we should be able to do it again. And also individual trips. So this very word is also very important because Japan kind of reopened already, I think sometime in April or something like that. And step by step took some steps to make it easier for people, but they just reopened for package tours. So you had to like book a package from a traveling agency or something like that, and that's the only way you could go to Japan. And we want to travel the entire country, and we want to do it for multiple months. So that's why this travel agency thing really didn't work for us. And individual trips, this should absolutely work. The only thing that is not clear yet is for how long you can go, but if we understand it correctly, it will just resume the visa-free individual trips, which means it would just go back to the rules before the pandemic, which is like 2019. And with that, we can, like from Germany, we can travel there for 90 days without any visa. You can even extend it for 90 more days if you want, but I think 90 days should be enough for us. So that's what we're planning now, and we have actually already booked our trip. So I am going to be in Japan by the end of October, which is really something I've been waiting for a very long time, and I'm really excited about. And I have now a lot of things to prepare because end of October we are already at end of September, so it's less than a month time that we have. And we have to prepare a lot of things with our like everything in private life to prepare for a larger trip, which is going to be multiple months. And I can't also promise that I'm going to be streaming when we're in Japan. I will try to continue making the stream. Maybe it won't be on Fridays anymore. It for sure will not have a green screen like I have right now at the back, because I can't take that with me. It's too big. But I think it's also nice to like see a room. So yeah, that's maybe some changes will be there. And also but I'm going to take my Mac with me, so maybe microphone I will have to use like AirPods or something like that, but I will figure that out, and I will try to see if I can stream there and also can find the time to stream there. It's just once a week, so I hope it's going to be possible, but I can't promise anything, so let's see how that goes. Anyways, this is the big news for me right now. And yeah, I think that's about it. So I will be here still a few weeks, so you can still see me the next week and after. But yeah, let's get to the actual business. So we want to work on the open focus timer, and this was part 32 last time. Let's go through the summary real quick. We have the progress here. Add a title to clarify the time and range, given some context on y-axis. Oh, welcome to the stream, Jum Nikabum. Yum Nikabum, I guess. How are you doing? Thank you for following. How's your day going? And are you a developer yourself, or are you just listening in? All right, so yeah, we worked on this part. Then we started fixing the cut labels at the bottom of the charts. So I'll be running the app in a second, so we can see what it looks like right now. One problem we had was some new APIs. They don't have any documentation. That's always a bummer, and that's always also the case. But I guess with so many new APIs, it's hard to get everything documented. And we also have steps to continue. So we want to fix the axis, cutting some names, and then we have a couple of other things that we want to work on. And I guess this is a screenshot of what it looks like right now. Oh no, this is a screenshot from Apple. All right. Well, let's copy this section here, and let's create a document for today. I always link these documents, by the way, in the YouTube videos I post on my YouTube channel. So you can always find open focus timer part 33. You can always find a link to them there. And if you don't have the time to watch a full video and you just want to know what we talked about in the video, maybe you want to find the right one, this is the way you can do it easiest. All right, so want to continue on fixing the x-axis, cutting some names. I think I remember what that was. So let's open the project. I'll see if we can build it. I just built it right before the stream. It looks like it doesn't build. The compiler is... Okay, so we were in the middle of something last time. I can also see that here because we basically staged a few things, which I think we consider to be final. Statistics feature. Okay, this is a new translation. And it was added using Remofux, which is great. And we have some changes here. All right, I guess, okay, here's what you do. Continue here by providing the icon image, color in the category's color instead of the name in the X. Ah, that's how we wanted to fix it. And we just commented out this part here. And there's a small change here. Okay, this is due to an update in Remofux, and this is an automatic migration, so I would just stage that. This is an automatic migration in beta 4. So I just opened the Remofux file right before the stream, just to check that Remofux is, because I'm developing on it all the time. I don't always have it installed in my programming, and it's there though. And this is the project, but let's not get into the details of it, unless somebody has some questions. But we want to actually, let's get this building first, so we can actually see what it looks like. I think this else case here is not completed yet. Let's just comment this out and see if this entire thing maybe. Oh, we use this X. All right, you know what? Let's try to finish this off with. So in the if case, we're saying if like category. Okay, if we find a category, we show that icon. Otherwise, I don't know what to do here really, but I will just show what kind of type is that? Is that an image? Is it a text? Define on category icon. It's an image. All right, let's just show any image with system name. I don't know, person. Just to get it building. Fix this. Add it just to. So never add code that you just added temporarily without a comment that it is temporary and you have to fix it. And I used to do for that if I don't want it to even commit it. And I use this shortcut developer warning, which I tweeted about. So you want to maybe check out my Jihad tweet account where I tweeted about this, I think a week ago or something, or 2 weeks ago. And this is what I add if it's a long-term thing that I want to fix at some point, but it's not really urgent before the commit. So this is what I would do in that case. But to do, I have configured, I think, SwiftLint to prevent me from committing that even. So I can't even commit this if I have it to do here. I'm using a pre-commit hook for that. So a pre-commit hook runs SwiftLint, and if SwiftLint fails, the commit will fail. And that's how that works. All right, but let's try if it's building now. Maybe it was just this. Maybe it was not. All right, we have things failing all over the place. Oh, declaration is only valid at file scope. Expected a brace. Okay, we have a missing closing brace, I guess. Let's see if everything matches up. So we have this one, we have this one, this one, this is also closed. Don't really know, but I will just go back to the previous code then like this. Maybe this will work. Okay, let's have a look at what we changed. So last time we changed code up here, but it looks like the braces are fine. This looks fine as well. This is just one small change. Okay, this whole thing here is new. Oops. Let's try to comment this out, just to see what the whole thing is looking like without this. Looks like it's building now. I'll still fail. Alright, but this is a weird fail. And if I have a weird fail, I will just make a clean build. Because I haven't opened this project for a while now, it's possible that some of the caches have gone wild. Build failed again. Again, okay, let's have a look at the build details. So maybe we get more information here. There's a lot of red in here. Ah, Swift format. Okay, so we have a custom run script and Swift format. Okay, I remember this. This is a bug that happens each time a new Swift version is released, but no new Swift syntax is released. So let's check if there is actually a new release. Oh, I'm again not signed in. Anyways, let's just search for Swift. Let's just go to apple/Swift syntax. And yes, they made a new release 3 days ago, so finally we should be able to upgrade Swift format as well. Go to the terminal, and Swift format is also an Apple tool, but I believe I can install it like this. I have to make this change real quick. All right, let's upgrade Swift format for Swift 5.7. Is there like a version command? Oh, we're still at 5600. Is the Swift format updated? I hope so. Yes, it was updated. How can I upgrade to it? At some point, I think Apple plans to ship Swift format as part of Swift, but that's not the case yet. So for now, how can I install? How did I install it? That's the question. Did I install it that way? Is it the right thing? Swift format version. Not be run. Did it upgrade anything? Doesn't look like it upgraded anything. I think it doesn't know about Swift format. Brew install Swift format. Brew reinstall. Okay, so maybe the brew wasn't updated yet. That's possible. Let's install it the way Apple recommends here. So get Swift format. Oh. Alright, let's just run this one by one. Check out text version. Actually, we can do this all together. But then it's going to be a local space. This is just for one project, it's not installing it. Okay, so Homebrew has not updated that yet, I'm guessing. So format in Homebrew. I think I haven't set my watch to be silent. Oh, I have. Still receiving some messages. I have a new phone. I bought the new iPhone 14 Pro, so I do have. I did have to set up many things because I don't like to just restore everything from the iCloud backup of an iPhone, because I like when I have a new phone. It's typically every few years. It's not every year. I like to just reset up everything from the ground up, so I can. Basically clean up things. It's like a yearly or a multi-yearly cleanup thing for me. So I'm currently still in the process of setting up my iPhone the way I want it to work. All right. So I'm sorry if there's more notifications during the stream. It's totally possible. Although I can silence it at least. We do that. There we go. On my watch. All right. So to be honest, I don't want to deal with this right now. It seems like Homebrew didn't upgrade the Swift format tab yet, the formula for it. So I could fix that now, but I think it's time wasted during the stream. I will just do it outside of the stream, and next time we'll have the updated version. Instead, I'm just going to comment out the Swift format build script for the time being, which is here. And instead of doing this, we will just show warning, Swift format build script is disabled, enable once working again. Mr. Amalex, hello, new here, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Are you an iOS developer yourself? Are you just interested? What's your background? Why did you open this stream? But welcome, anyhow, welcome to the stream. How's your day going? All right, I hope it's going to build now, and it's not going to fail again with the build script issue. That's looking better. Yeah, it's building. Okay, let's run the app and let's see what the app looks like and what we were on to fixing. All right, the simulator should be starting. And this is our app, the current state, what it looks like. And we were at implementing statistics for the time that we are tracking in this application. And yeah, this is the issue that we were working on. So we have different kind of projects, and you can see the names of the projects, they are truncated. And that's exactly what we don't want. So we want to fix it somehow. And I believe we had the idea here in our notes. No, not in the notes, but here in the code itself, that we wanted to simply, where's the comments? Continue here by providing the icon image. So we want to provide the icon image of the categories. But I just saw that it's not going to fix the projects, right? The projects don't have icons, I believe. Or do they? Let me check. Do you have any recommendation resource to learn iOS dev? I'm a full stack mobile dev using Node.js and Flutter. I want to learn iOS native dev. For sure. So first off, if you're not hurrying, I am planning on an iOS course myself for total beginners to relative pros. So I will be doing a course myself. It's going to be free on YouTube. Just subscribe to my channel Flying Dev to get notified about it once it's available, or just follow me on Twitter. I'm going to also post it on Twitter once it's available. It's at @ghut here. But if you want to start right away, the best thing I can recommend is Hacking with Swift, which is also absolutely for free. And I mean, there are books sold around it, so you can also spend some money, but there is a learn path. Link to my socials for sure. I think that's Twitter, socials, something like that. No, it doesn't look like it. Well, redeem some Pokemon level up. All right, so I will send a link to my socials in a second, but I just want to first show you here 100 Days of SwiftUI and 100 Days of Swift. Don't mix them up. If you want to learn the old way of doing things with UIKit, then this is like 100 Days of Swift programming UIKit. And this is 100 Days of Swift programming in SwiftUI, which is a new UI framework. And if you're a beginner and just starting, I totally recommend doing it with SwiftUI, because long-term that's going to be the go-to standard for everybody. But if you basically are working in an app that already exists and things like that, then this might be useful as well. But I recommend this one. And it has a lot of videos, explanations, how this whole course works. And this is a really, really detailed course, and everybody likes it. So that's definitely something you can do. Hackingwithswift.com. Another thing that everybody knows is CS193P, which is basically a Stanford University developing apps for iOS course where the videos are online. So you can watch them. And this is the second thing that I can recommend that everybody also seems to like a lot. But as I said, I'm going to do things myself as well. And yeah. Welcome to the stream, Alex2023. Do you use unit tests? I do use unit tests. But I wanted to send links to my socials as well. Let me quickly check for that. Actually, I do have a link for that, but I just haven't. Ooh, I am not signed in here. All right, I'm just going to come. Oh, there you go. You just received the link to my YouTube. And let's just add the one to my Twitter as well. I think that's the easiest way for now. All right, let me show you my unit tests. So I do write unit tests. But I have to say in this project, there was not much logic, so I didn't write a lot of it. But you can see if we go to the tests folder, and this is an open source project, so you can check out things yourself as well. Right here on GitHub, just go to github/flyndev public/open-focus-timer. Let me post that as well. This is the project, and you can also check out the entire code base there. But you can see that I do have a one unit test for a helper function that I wrote, which did include some logic, which was like basically coding, like encoding and decoding different types of data, like hex and things like that. So I figured that makes sense. And we also wrote a relatively detailed test for our app's timer. So we have a timer app here, and we can start it, and we can then choose the task type and then the project. And these fields you can define yourself, and that's the whole point of the project. And then it runs, I can pause it, I can continue, I can edit the summary, I can give like progress, problems, learnings, and next steps kind of details here. I can also edit these during it. And once it's over, it should send me like timer is up and things like that. There you go, and then I can edit the summary here, and I can just say okay, and it resets. And this entire logic we tested here in detail. So that's a unit test that we wrote. But generally, I definitely write always for complicated things like conversion, things like that. I always write unit tests. That's like the thing that's testing if my code is working or not. Then I always also write a unit test when someone sends me a bug report about an edge case where things broke, which I didn't see in normal usage though. So I write a test that reproduces their bug, and then I fix it. And that's always how I do it, because then I can prevent having the same bug creep in again. And for edge cases, I think it's always a great thing to write tests. That's the two situations I always write unit tests. And then I try to write unit tests for more complex kind of screens where the logic is involved. And thanks to the composable architecture, which we're using here, so kudos to Point3 Co /Swift composable architecture. This is the architectural framework that we're using in this application, and this has a really good testing strategy for entire features. So that's one of the points of this library. And although they call themselves Point3, they are absolutely not Point3. They really have a lot of points. All right, but let's get back to the application. And I wanted to fix these dots here. So this is truncate. This is truncating text. And I just want to check if the projects have icons as well. Oh, they do. So we have an icon and we have a color for each project. And we have that also for each category. So that means that we can actually always use these. All right, let's do that then. Maybe that's the easiest way to do it. Okay, I think we used the chart x-axis thing because we researched and we found out that if you want to provide a custom label for this place, let me actually show this in side by side so we don't have to switch all the time. All right. So we learned, I think, that this is how you do it, and that's why we wrote it that way. I'm just going to comment this code, which is new, I will just say text test. Let's see if that builds. All right, this doesn't build. I think we have is only a file scope. That shouldn't be an issue. Something else I think is breaking here. Are we closing everything off? I think there is one closing brace missing. Is it? No, it's not. This should actually work. I mean, it's just like this. Am I missing something? Oh yeah, this one is missing. That's the whole issue. All right. So let's revert this. We need that code. But here is one missing. All right, now it should build. And you can catch Pokemon if you're a Pokemon fan in the chat. It's like a game within the chat here. All right, what does it look like now? Yes, okay, we have replaced it with a text, which just reads test. And I do wanna just use the category's name. So basically what I wanna do here is refer to view store dot category stats by group. And then we get the category group, which we are in right now. So we are here inside of for each, where we are walking through the category groups, and we have like category groups, and each category group has categories. And yeah, we just okay, let's explain it real quick. So we have category groups, and we can define them ourselves, and there is two that's going to ship with this application by default, which is the task type and the project. And you can like map those to your tracked time. You can say, okay, I worked on this type of task, which can be like a code review design in my case, or it can be a specific kind of project, which can be like main project 1, side project 1, etc. And the whole point is you can also edit these groups, but in each group you can also have the categories that you can select from. And yeah, we're walking through the groups here. So we have task type first and project next. And this is the group project, and this is the group task type. And for each of them, we will show like how much time we have spent on the different categories that we have in that, which is the different task types that we have or the different projects we have. So that's the whole point of this. And we just want to show that here now. So we have the group, and we have for each of the things, we have category stats by group. So we created like a state. We created like a struct there where we have the category inside and the total time tracked, which is the two relevant information for the statistics. So we have just those in there, and then we go inside. We don't need the state reference here, inside that group, and then we try to find a first that has the same. Why do we do it like that? Isn't there a better way? Oh, I see. We get the value here, and the value needs to be converted. Okay. So let's go back to our code here. I think it was already kind of correct. Okay. Yeah, uncomment everything here. Let's see what this all looks like. All right. What are all these warnings? Let me make a build so they disappear. We have if that category name. Okay, so we get the category name by saying the value we expect it to be the category name. If like category, and then we try to find the category, the first category. Let me just close off the sidebar here. No, that's the wrong one. There you go. Then we have the category, and if you find the category, we use the image. But we want to return a text here. So let's just use the text. And I think in the text, you can just use an image. So let's try that, category.icon image. And if we don't find one, then we can fall back to just the name, I guess. So we just say text category name. So this is just in case, which we don't expect to ever run in, because I expect always there to be something that we can find with this code, but in case something goes wrong, instead of crashing, we just fall back to the category name. But this should never be run. All right, but this is the category image, and let's see what this looks like. This could already work. Build failed. Why this time? There's some weird issue here. Cannot confirm to string protocol. String protocol. Oh, I think we're missing an else case here. What if this cannot be done? Let's just return. I don't know. Does this compile? I don't know what the type of the value is. Nope. Come on, compiler, tell me what's really going wrong here. Please. Still the same issue. Command plus find error. Command plus okay, that's interesting. I learned something new here. Thank you very much for that, Alex 2023. So obviously for everyone who just doesn't know what just happened, I just pressed command and then one apostrophe. What is that called? Like it's just a small thing like this one here. This character. So you just write command plus this character, and if you do that, and my cursor is here. Notice what happens to my cursor. It jumps to the error, and if I continue clicking that, it jumps to the next warning. So I'm guessing it just jumps through these things listed here, something like that. I didn't know about that, but this is really useful. So thank you very much, Alex. Thank you for teaching me and everyone who is watching this. This is really useful. All right, so here we have the error, but it's not really failing here. Let me just check. Access value label. Are we using an initializer with a closure, which is this one? So we have a content closure here, which is an escaping closure, and it expects the content. Okay, but what restrictions do we have on content? Let's open the documentation. Access label, access value label. And the content is just a view. Thank you for following Mr. MLX. Thank you very much. Hope you're enjoying this. Access value label. It expects a view, and the view that we're returning here is a text, which is a view. So I think this should actually not be a problem, but maybe we can make the code a bit more simple. All right, having fun with the sounds here, which is amazing. This makes the stream much more lively. Yeah, things are failing, and I think I just want to return a text here to make to help the compiler to get the type, and all this if, else, etc. I just use in front of it. And we could even put it into a closure, like say this is the text shown or something like that. Yeah, let's just say string, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really liking this code. Maybe we should just write a helper function. Yeah, come on, let's do that. All right, I'm just going to extract it into a function. If Xcode does work. No, it's not. All right, let's do it manually. Private func, whatever. Don't know the name yet. So what is this supposed to do? This gives me the category string representation. I think that's the purpose. And it needs to have access to the view stores category groups, I believe, only, right? No, only also to the value. So what's the value of type? I think we just had the documentation open, right? Yeah, no, that's not. It is this. Okay, there should be a content initializer. There we go. But there's nothing. Oh, okay. I'm confused. Oh, it's in the access map. I'm so stupid. Access marks. There we have a content and it receives an access value. This is the type. All right. So we pass on. Where is it? An access value, which is the value, and maybe the category stats by group, which is of type. There you go. All right. And we just return, in this case, a string which holds the icon image. In this case, the category name. And in this case, we can just return the string representation. Of value. Does it have maybe a string representation or something? No. Does that work? I don't think so. Oh, category stat, of course it's of type statistic. It's the state dot category stat is not generic statistics feature state, and it's of course returning a string. This is getting along, so let's make it more readable. And of course the returns are missing. This should help the compile now. And obviously we're going to return here self.category string representation. The value is our value. Category by stats by group is just state.view store. View store category stats by group. Let's clean this up. And there's one thing still. Cannot comment type group to type. Is the member first. What's going on here? It's category stats by group. And then I go into group. Ah, we're missing the group, of course. The group is a category group. There we go. And we should also. No, not there. No, maybe there. All right, we have the group here, and we just say group. You just forward it here into the function. And now it's asking for the where. I think the compiler is now much better in helping us. And in case we don't have any of these, I'm just going to return a plain string, which could be, I mean, this is in the case if the category name value a string, if when the value itself cannot be converted into a string. In which case, I'm just going to return question marks. We'll see if we ever run into this. I don't think so. Must be unwrapped before the first cameo. What's going on here? So we're saying category starts by group. We're accessing group, and that's an optional, I see. And we could just say like this. This should then have first where, and then. All right, so we're getting into a short break. As always, we should not work too long, not sit too long. So quick break to get some fresh air and drink some water. So be free to do that with me. Be back in a few minutes. All right, I'm back and we are continuing with fixing the compiling issues. And it's saying there's no member name on category stat. All right, so we have the category stat. So let me actually open this back up. Let's have a look. This is the category. Oh yeah, we have the category. So we can basically say dot category. Let's close this off again. Let's try to build now. Okay, has no member icon image. Should be a category and category. Oh, this is a category stat. Okay, this is a category stat. Fair enough. Stat dot category dot icon image. There we go. Things are building, but we have a problem, and that's that for some reason this text thing doesn't seem to work. Oh yeah, we're sending a string back here. So basically this is now the code that should compile here as well. Let's just copy it back in. Oops, oh, I just lost it. Let me copy again. And that's basically the logic for here. And everywhere we just, instead of return, we just wrap it into text. Let's try it this way. It could work. And the compiler should be happy now because we fixed the issues in a function we created before, which helped the compiler know the types. And of course, this is now under view store. Everything else should work. Let's see if SwiftUI can actually show SF symbols, because this is an SF symbol image. Oh yes, of course, no return needed here. And it works, yes, okay. We can show the icon. I find it a bit small though, so maybe we want to make it larger, and also we want to give it the color of the project. It's not perfect though. I think there's still a problem with the name, and we might additionally show the name, but then not having, like, even if it was truncated thanks to the icon, it might be more clear. So actually we should yeah, first make this larger. So I'm just going to give this a font. Oh, it's really bad when auto-completion doesn't work. So there we go. And then let's do it somewhere else where auto-completion is better. I'll just do it here. There we go, it's much faster. And we want to change the font size to system with size, or let's just change the style to, I don't know, headline maybe. So this is the code we want to write here. Does it look like that? And I also wonder if SwiftUI previews are going to work, because then we don't have to rebuild every time. Last time they didn't work. Okay, this is large enough, I guess. It could be even larger, I guess. Let's go with title 1, just title. Ah, that's a bit too big. Title 2. kind of works. Yeah, that works, but I do want to have some padding at the top. So let's add padding at the top. Maybe just 5 points. Or I guess something like 10 should be better. And then I also want to give it a color, so let's give it a foreground color. And the color is supposed to be category stat dot category. Oh, please auto completion. Alright, I will have to go to category directly. And yes, it's just called color. Let's try that. Okay, it works, but we have an issue, and that's with because the colors are dynamic, they're not always legible. But that's the question of, okay, so we're showing them like this here, but they also have a white background here. Okay, but because this is like a square, it's easier to see in this place. Maybe we should add a shadow, or we could also make it automatically darker or not allow specific colors. Yeah, I'm not sure. How do we choose colors? Can I choose any color freely? Yes, okay. So I could even choose white, and if I choose white, it won't be readable anymore. Shadow. I could also adjust the color automatically to be legible. I want to try shadow first. Let's just do shadow radius, I don't know, 5. And I do really want to have a SwiftUI preview here. I'm just going to try. So we are working in the statistics feature. Let's see if it builds. And if the preview builds. I mean, that's the whole point of SwiftUI previews, that I can quickly see the small changes without having to build the entire project. And that's the best way to design, just to make small changes and directly see the outcome. It's taking a while. But I guess the shadow could be good enough, and then people who choose really bad colors can still kind of see the shape, but they might want to change the color up. Okay, it didn't work on first try. Sometimes it works on second. It also says publishing changes from within view update is not allowed. This will cause undefined behavior. Maybe we should update the composable architecture. Let's update the dependencies. And let's see what updates. So these changes are definitely improvements. This is, I believe, a Remafox change with the beta 4, and this is our disablement, which is fine because we have added a warning. But updating the dependencies should actually cause another change here. There we go. Okay, we're upgrading this and this. Actually, as of save symbols, I went onto the main branch, but maybe that's no longer needed. Seven days ago, version 4 was released. Let's go on that. I think that's going to have SwiftUI 4 inside. Package.swift. As of save symbols. Okay, I'm looking for it at the top. There we go. And not branch, but from 4.0.0. That's better. Let's upgrade again. I mean, it should automatically resolve, but okay. This is on 4.0 now, and Swift case paths are fixed there, Swift collections, Swift composable. Yeah, okay, we're upgrading quite a bit from 39.1 to 40.2, which is a bigger release, I think. But it should be totally backwards compatible, so I'm just going to use it just like that. And we're going to just build again. Hopefully also this runtime warning here will be gone. First is the project building or the statistics feature. It is. Now let's refresh the preview. Yeah, for everyone watching who's not a developer, software development is a lot like this. You just do some things and then you wait and you wait and you retry and you wait. I love waiting. That's also why many people actually, I don't know, get addicted to things like coffee, because during wait time they go and brew themselves a coffee or something like that. Yeah, okay, this is not working. I'm just going to continue using not the previews, but the simulator, which is not as fast as when previews is working, but if previews are not working, then this is the fastest approach. Which is better, warning or to-do comment? I already explained how I use them. So for me, a to-do comment is something that I have to do before I complete the commit. And why? Because I do want to have two levels. I want to have one level where I can tell myself, hey, don't forget this at some point in the future before release or something like that. And that's where I use warnings, and you can see them all here. And I write them like this, using this warning style, and also adding this emoji, which I also tweeted about, which is very useful to differentiate your own warnings from Xcode. Like, for example, this, I know this is from Xcode because it's not having this thing here. And I just use this snippet here that you can see, developer warning, which auto-completes to this, and I can just right away write the stuff. And this is what I use personally for long-term things, long-term reminders. But the to-do one, because there is a SwiftLint rule for to-dos, and you can just turn that on, or I believe it's turned on by default. The cool thing about this is you can write a pre-commit hook. Like, I can show that. I didn't show it before. I just opened this project in Atom to see all the files there, because Xcode doesn't show like hidden files. And then you can go to, scroll up to the Git folder, and inside the Git folder, and this is not committed into the project, so this everybody has to set this up for themselves on their machines. I'm basically running this build script.ssh file, which is this file here, and this is running SwiftLint in strict mode even. So when there is a single warning in SwiftLint, like that there is a to-do comment left, the commit will fail. Like the commit, for those people who don't know, you can also make commits fail. Like if you're in here, if I try to commit this now, ABC, and I say commit files, it will fail. It says there's an error, and then it will tell me, okay, in this case, it's also running Swift format, which we have to disable. Let's try this again. We already talked about the Swift format thing before, but now you can see that it's failing, and it's telling me, hey, you have this to-do violation. I don't know if you can read that, but here we go. You have this to-do violation, and this is shown by SwiftLint, and this way I can prevent even committing this to-do, and that's how I use it. I remind myself of things during the development with a to-do comment, and for things after development, like long-term, with a warning. So that's the difference for me. And this works very well for me. For example, I wrote this exact to-do comment last week before I ended my stream, and that's often the case. You're ending your workday, for example, or you're going into a break, and just before doing that, I say like, wait a second, I just need a second, and just write this one sentence to remind myself, okay, this is where you need to continue. And next time I do continue, I can see this in my version control, that this is like something I should do, and also I can't commit. I can't miss this, basically. So it's also a great way to remind yourself where to continue, where you left off. And we have actually fixed this, I would say. So let's remove it. Okay, let's run it with the shadow. Or do we already? No. Okay, we have to switch to the app and run it. Let's see what it looks like with the shadow here. Oh, that's definitely too much. All right. What about a shadow radius 0? What does this look like? Yeah, this is the same as no shadow. All right, let's see all the different options. I think shadow is the right solution, but maybe I have to. Color radius X, okay. Shadow typically looks nice when it's offset on the y-axis a little bit down because the sun is at the top, shining down, so the shadow should be at the bottom. Let's just go 2 pixels. Radius, let's make it really small. 2. Color, let's use the default color, whatever it uses. And X, let's keep it at 0. All right. Oh. Let's do it like this. This could look like something. Injection free, what is that? Alex, you posted a link. I wonder what that is about. Okay, on the yellow one it doesn't look that good. On the red one it does. Okay, maybe we want to provide something else, not just a shadow. Live reload app. Yeah. Well, let me open it, but I never used that. Oops. Why does not copy? I cannot copy text properly here. No. All right, let me change the browser. Maybe it works somewhere else. Like this. Rewrite of injection for Xcode. I don't really want to meddle with default project style, especially given that there is already a solution for it, which is SwiftUI previews. I think I'm just going to keep with this style and just wait for SwiftUI previews to be fixed. I'm hoping it's going to happen not too far away. Let's say with Xcode 14.1.1, maybe it will be fixed. I don't know. It's not work perfect, but sometimes it's useful. I see. I will keep it in my mind, so in case SwiftUI previews don't get fixed, I mean, this is easy to get to. Maybe I will be in a situation where I have to really navigate a lot, and in that case, maybe it is worth using something like that. I'm too lazy. All right, thank you for the tip, though. Yeah, I will keep it in mind. Yeah, I don't like this shadow style. I believe we will be more successful either if we make the radius really high, I don't know, 20, and then it should just look like a little bit darker background, or we just give it a background, some kind of background that's not a text, but I don't know, a shape or something. Yeah, this became nearly invisible. Let's try 15. What would a border look like in an icon? Content. What do we say for the content? Do we just say something like color dot red width 2? I don't know. Does that work? Haven't used borders much in SwiftUI. Yeah, it does seem to work. Oh, yeah, it's not following the shape. All right, this is getting too detailed for me. I think for now we're just going to keep a to-do here, and in this case I'm going to use a developer warning, and maybe we should put it right here. And the problem is users can choose colors with bad contrast. Find a solution, something like that. Let's not waste too much time here because it kind of looks okay. And I just one thing I want to add is maybe a text at the bottom or at the right of it, just as an addition. So we might want to do something like plus another text like that. And let's just look what this would look like if we just use the category name in here. And this time I'm creating an extra text because I don't want it to have the same font and foreground color. Instead, it should just be a default color. But this doesn't compile. I guess because it's not seeing that I'm merging two texts here. Maybe I should do something like that. Oh wait, no, this is no text anymore. Because the foreground color, font, etc., they're returning a view. It's no longer of type text, and you can only add a plus and concatenate two views of type text. So this won't work. Instead, I could use an H stack or something like that. I could also simply add the text here. All right, let's just see what it looks like if I add the text here. It's going to be too large, but maybe we can adjust it. Like that. Yeah, of course, it's way too large. And if I return the VStack even here, I mean, every view then has to be a VStack, maybe. Because it says some view, right? Not an any view. If it was any view, I could, I think, return any view in every if branch. But if it's a some view, every if branch has to return the same type, I think, as I understand it. So then we have a text here. And then we have another text here. And here I will show the category name. And here we'll remove it again. Does it compile? I think not, because of the text types here. Oh, it does. Okay, in that case I was wrong. Or it just does accept an any view. All right, this is better. Still truncated here. But maybe we could also make that multi-line. Multi-line. Auto-completion, please. Leading. Does this make this already all multi-line? Not really sure. Nope. Okay, let's Google that. SwiftUI multi-line text. Fixed size horizontal false and vertical true. Seriously? Fixed size? Horizontal false? This means it will not grow horizontal. No, it will not be fixed horizontally, but it will be fixed vertically. Shouldn't it be the exact opposite? This is really confusing. And we want it to grow vertically. So we don't want it to be fixed vertically, right? But Stack Overflow says otherwise, and it seems to work. You can use the answer from the context. Thanks. We can also set the line limit. This seems like more like what you want. You want to one line. Welcome to the stream, Tinazu H. How are you doing? I want it to be like fully red, so I don't want it to be one line. I actually want it to be multiple lines. I'm not sure if I want it to be multiple lines, but I want to see it. And I guess this is more readable. Seems like more intuitive to understand what we are actually trying to do here. But it does not work. What if we set 2? I think 2 should be the line limit. It shouldn't be like a whole text in there. It's too much. Alright, this one worked. We're going to keep it. Maybe we should comment that this is allow multi-line. And maybe we don't even need this anymore then. I think I want to align center. So multi-line text alignment. Center. Yeah, that's better. But I do want to have some gaps here as well. So we need to add some padding into the whole V stack. Padding only horizontal. And maybe just a little bit, like 4 points. No, not padding. Which one then? Should I use an H stack? But I mean, I don't have, this is, please use V stack spacing. I don't want to have padding between those. That's fine to me. Like if I add V stack spacing here, then I will have space between these, between the icon and the text. I want to have between the text here, because look at the main project 2 and side project, there's like no space between them. But my version also didn't seem to have worked. Yeah, but maybe spacing here will also look better, I don't know. But that's not what my problem was. Yeah, I think it looks better. Let's keep that. But still, I need to put some spacing in here. I think we just need the spacing here. Some padding, horizontal. Let's make it 5. I wonder why the padding here didn't work. It should have worked actually. Yeah, why does this not work? This is weird. I think there is no width limit here. Is that possible? Or is it because I set the vertical? I'm confused. Can you use text frame height? What do you mean by that? I don't get it. You mean like frame? And I should set height to something? Yeah, it should be possible. Let's try. Why not? You mean like instead of the fixed size? That makes sense to align them. That makes sense. Yeah, it's just... but I still have the width problem. Maybe I should also set width, but then I have to calculate it dynamically. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of what I'm doing here. So thank you for that hint with the frame height. I think that makes sense. But the padding, I don't need that. It doesn't work anyways. Multi-line center makes sense, and this should be maybe a little bit less. Don't know. Things are overlapping. Yeah, UI screen main mode with through 4 like that for dynamic. I know how to calculate it, but I don't really want to do that. Also, UI screen main bounce is not going to work because this code is going to be also running on iPad and on the Mac, and they have like not full screen width here. So it might be somewhere else, and then I have to calculate really from the surrounding areas, and I have to I think maybe use a geometry reader then to get the size of the enclosing view and things like that. Way too complicated. I want to keep it simple as well. But this is now running into, okay, 20 is not enough for 2 lines. 25. But I'm really still stuck with this. Look at this, project 2, so there needs to be some spacing there. But maybe we can define it somewhere here. Access marks values, access value label, chart axis. Maybe we can define it in the chart itself, that there should be some spacing in here. 25, still not enough. Let's make 28. Yeah, another problem with set frame is if I turn on dynamic type and users set their type to really big sizes, it's no longer going to be one line. It's not going to fit even sometimes at all. So also setting a set height is never a good idea. So I think I prefer this approach. Just saying what I want to have, which is that this grows vertically. But maybe we should also additionally set a line limit to 2, so it doesn't grow too much. Yeah, I should test this in more detail, but I really think we're really getting stuck in a really small detail of the screen here, which is just names of the projects. So maybe we can find a shortcut or something that works for now, but I see that these things are not aligned. This is really not great. All right, let's keep it to 1 line. We just keep it to 1 line. But how do we solve the problem with, or will it truncate now? I think it will truncate. But it can still look ugly like here, main project 2 and then side project. Not liking it. And they're still not aligned, which is weird. Maybe we can use the new, what's its name? Is it the grid view? I think it's the grid view. Maybe we can use grid view. Not lazy grid view, just grid view. Grid level, just grid. Grid alignment, etc. Vertical spacing. But we are not, yeah, we're not rendering the whole thing here. We're just rendering a single one. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe just keep it to the icons without any text. Like this. This means users have to remember what icon belongs to which project and what color belongs to which project. Can I have a suggestion for you? Yeah, sure. Feel free to make a suggestion. I would like to write the name inside of this bar. That's what I would like to do, to be honest. I think that's the best approach. Just write it here, like on the side. Don't know if we can do that for each bar mark. And these are unnecessary. Can you send a code block, text and image? This is open source. I'm going to commit this in a few minutes, and then you can just check it out here on flying.public /open focus timer. Let me send you the link. You mean like I keep the text here and this I just make an image? I mean, this is already an image. This is already an image type. And then I don't need a font. Although it could stay. Let's see what that looks like. Maybe it's aligned better. VStack image, VStack text spacer. Let me try this here first. Okay, you want me to have VStack and then an image like this. And then another VStack. A text and a spacer. How is that supposed to help? I don't understand. I will try, but I don't think it's going to help. It's still same issues. There's no... I don't understand the difference. What do you mean by that? Anyways, I think I'm going to... What am I going to do? I want to keep the image. Maybe we don't really need the color. Yeah, you're again saying I should set a specific height, but again, then it doesn't work with dynamic height. I want a dynamic type. I want to support dynamic type. You know what I mean? Dynamic type, which is this feature where users can pick their preferred type size, and then the view automatically scales with it. If I set a specific height, then it doesn't work that way. Dynamic type violation. No, that's not what I meant, but I think you get the idea. Okay, I am opening the Xcode. Feel free to send me a pull request. So you can just open this project and let me actually commit this, so you have the latest version I'm trying to get working here. And this is looking good to me. This is also fine. Let me check. Let's commit this so you can check out the latest version. There we go. Use category icon instead of truncated names in stats. And we can't commit because we have this empty parenthesis. This is statistics feature view line 40. 39. Oops. Oh yeah, I thought I removed that already. Seems like I forgot it. Tinaso H. So you still want me to set a VStack with a text and spacer in it, and then set a frame height for the VStack, and the frame height to be 150. But then again, am I not either wasting a lot of space or not supporting dynamic type? Isn't that the problem with a fixed height? If I set it to fixed 150, it is going to maybe work. And I have a lighting issue here. Let me fix that quickly. Going on. My background isn't perfectly working. All right. So, I think I just want to continue from here. I think this is not great, but I'm going to work on that later. So users can choose colors with back contrast, find a solution, plus consider adding name below, or something like that. So feel free to make a pull request to the project where you improve this. I'm not really happy with it, but I don't want to get stuck too much on this little detail. And we could just continue and fix other things. So we did. Now fix x-axis cutting some category names in stats by using icon instead. This is completed then. Okay, next up we want to say maybe use different colors for different categories, use color or of category, maybe even use the icons instead of the names. So the icons part we have already done. Can you try and check the iPad? Sure. Just look like, let's choose this one. My plan for this app actually was to first go iPhone first and then check the Mac and iPad versions as well, which I believe are going to be very similar to each other. Well, let's have a look. It's totally possible that some things are really looking ugly. We have not focused really a lot on improving the UI yet. We just wanted to have things that work. So let's test it here. And you can see the statistics and it works. There's just no data in here yet because we don't have any timers. So if I just say, yeah, make this and continue. Let's run the whole timer. Okay, can you show me the code in iPad? I don't know what you mean. It's the same code. But now we should have some stats. I believe it does not refresh automatically. Yeah, it looks like it does not refresh. So you're still sending me some text here which is exactly the same that you sent me before. Please, if you want to explain to me what you really want, just send a pull request to the project so I can have a look at it when I have the time. And I think that's the easiest way to continue from here. I'm not going to focus on this part anymore. I want to continue instead with using different colors for different categories. Let me send you a link again. Where is it? There we go. All right. Back to maybe use different colors for different categories. The use color of the category. So currently we are using always green, as you can see, for every bar. And we could actually move the color from the icon maybe to the bar, which could make this much easier to read also here down there. And the question is, how do we do that? Let's learn. Let's go back to the view. There we go. This is our chart. And we are creating bar mark. Can we just give each bar mark a foreground color? That would be like the easiest approach. Not really. SwiftUI charts. Give each bar mark a color. Range chart using bar mark. Building custom charts. Foreground style. Oh, they do have. Okay, they do have support for colors. Oh. Foreground style. Let's just say red. Let's just test it. If this works, we should be able to say, we're still on the iPad. Go back to the iPhone. Should be able to say category stat. All right. We'll be continuing right after the break, so let's take a short break, getting some fresh air, some water, and also walking a bit so we don't sit too long. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. All right, we are back, and we were just about to add this foreground style to color our bar charts here, or bars. So let's try category stat dot. I think it's category, and then color. This should be it. Like here, should be the exact same thing. Yes, it works. That's perfect. That means we can actually remove the color from the icons because they are supposed to be really readable, but the whole bar here in yellow, it's definitely visible, but the icon is really thin and it's not going to look that great. So we have fixed the issue with the color on the icons as well at the same time. This was easy enough, I have to say. There we go. Cool, this is nice. Making progress that easily. Okay, apply category user selected category color on bars in charts. Simple as this, and let's actually copy this exact same commit as our progress that we just made. And we have a typo here. There we go, this is completed as well. Error project, missing package per composable architecture. How can I install this? It should install automatically. I mean, if you have Xcode with SwiftPM built into it, it should actually happen automatically. But if you do have issues, feel free to just say reset package caches and update to latest package, things like that. It should actually just work. This site not show the package GitHub link. Why are you linking to this? It should be, I mean, here in the project, in the package.swift file. Hello. Why is this not working? Hello, Xcode, please react. In the package.swift file, this here, this is the link. And this should be installed. Okay, great. Branch is deprecated. Oh yeah, there's a new style. It's just called branch like this, which is great improvement. Really like it. All right. That's a Swift 5.7 feature, by the way. That's as far as I know. This was easy enough. Let's go to next. Set a proper focus topic. Add a UI for it if needed. Oh yeah, I remember what this was now. Okay, so we have timers, and when we start a timer, it just starts it when we can choose the task type and the project. Like this belongs to this project, and this is a programming task, and then we can pause it. What I currently recognize is I can't end it at any time. So if I want to end it early, it's currently not possible. Yeah, I think we should be able to end it early, right? So let's add that also to to-do list here. At the end, maybe. Currently not possible to end a timer, a session, yeah, a timer session before the timer runs out. Just call it a session, to end a session before the timer runs out. This should be possible though. All right, but let's get back to what we want to actually fix, and that's set a proper focus topic. And what we want to have actually is, even if I'm working on programming, and if I'm like here adding some details here, and if I choose not only programming but also the project that I worked on, I might also want to give this specific session a title, something like stream and open focus timer stream and part 33, for example. So I just have like a name for, or something else I can relate to, and we already have that in the database. And I have made some changes here unwillingly. We already have that in the database. If I go to the model D, XCData model D file, you can see on the focus timer, we already have a focus topic, which is just a string. And I just want it to be a line that a user can edit and just say what they're about to do. And the whole point is that when you start a timer, you say, okay, this is what I'm going to focus on. And maybe when you're at the end, you might also want to edit it, something like that. But I think having it at the start is like the part that we want to focus on right now. And we already are showing this screen when we start the timer. So we might want to just add a title here. And maybe we'll want to also add the same title here as well, because when we end the timer, we might also say, okay, the focus was actually something different. But is that really something that we want to do? I mean, if you say up front you want to focus on something specific, but maybe you end it in 5 minutes and then you do the rest of the timer, you do something else. Yeah, I think it kind of makes sense to make this editable here as well. Okay, we want to add in both of them edit categories, edit summary. We want to add a field that's just saying focus topic. I think that's a good name, right? All right, let's add that. So we have the field already. Let's do it in the edit categories first. Edit categories view. Settings, edit category view. That sounds like it. And let me actually try again. Maybe the SwiftUI previews will work in this view. Let's go to settings, edit category. Let's build it. And let's try running the previews. Sometimes in some views it works, in some views it doesn't. So yeah, I just want to try again, even though it didn't work in the different view today. It might work in this view. This is a good sign. Oh yeah, there we go. This view does work. Okay. And the name of the cat. Oh no, this is not the right view. Okay, that's not what I wanted to go. I wanted to go to timer. And in the timer, we will have, let's actually go to the timer feature. This is the timer feature. Okay, we only have the timer view here. Do we have like the sheets? Are they implemented directly in here? No, category selector. See, okay, this is the category selector then. This is the right view. There we go. Let's go to category selector. Let's see if we can get the previous warning here as well. This is not good, looking good. And yet again, we have to live without SwiftUI previews, fortunately. Anyhow, we have a picker here for each category group, where you can select the category. And on top of that, I want to have a text field or something like that. But I want it to actually look very similar to the reflection feature. So let's have a look at how we implement it here. So we have a section here. We're reusing it, and it has a section of VStack with a text which is a title and a text which is a placeholder. And then we have a text editor. That's an interesting setup. Let me just see again what this looks like. Here we go. Oh, okay, all right. This looks something like that. E.g. finished first version of app. Progress summary. Yeah, it kind of makes sense to have exactly this style again. So we might want to actually extract this into its own view to just reuse it. And I'm just going to introduce, I think I don't have that yet. So I'm just going to introduce a new folder. I call it reusable UI. And do we need the section as well? I guess so. Okay, let's actually put this entire thing here. Just get it out here and just put it into a reusable view. And I'm just going to call that, how should we call it? Well, let's actually rename it here. Okay, it's not working. This is a titled or yeah, title text. How is it called? Text editor. Is it a text editor? Let me see. It's a text editor. Yeah, titled text editor section. Let's just call it text editor section. Text editor section, because in the end it's just a section, has a text editor, and typically a section also has like a title and things like that. Yeah. Did you commit the statistics feature view file? I think so. Yeah, I don't have anything that is not yet committed and pushed in, so it's all everything is committed and pushed. It should be in there. There you go, statistics feature view. It is committed and uploaded as well. All right. This seems to be pretty simple, but it needs a title. So if we go back where we got it from, we see that we have these three values, and we could just copy and move them into this file here as their properties. All right, title, placeholder, and text binding. We have a body, and it's using these. I like to reference things with a self to make it more clear. And that should be it. And we have, of course, we want to rename this to, can we rename it now? Okay, rename at least in scope. Text editor section. Not really change anything here. All right. I hope the previews for this very simple view at least work. Let me check that. And we are here in the, okay, we have a new component. So we have to add it here as well. And it will be reusable QRSTU. It's a new library named reusable UI. We're going to name the target reusable UI as well. Let's create that as well. Target reusable UI. And then dependencies. What dependencies do we actually need? I don't think we use any dependencies. Let's keep it empty for now. I'm sure we're going to add some dependencies over time, but if we don't need them right now, we don't need to add them. And this should result in, okay, something is failing with the package.swift file. Let's going on. Is there a typo in here? Reusable UI. Reusing, of course. Reusable, not reusable. Alright, this should work now. Let's go to reusable UI. Let's just build this. And macOS only is missing. This is in Handy SwiftUI, I believe. So that's already the first library that we need to import. Let's go to there. Korhan Baba, welcome to the stream. Kolay gelsin, selamlar Afyon'dan. Selamlar sana da. Nasıl geçiyor? What is this file for? Statistics feature view? You mean, Alex, well, which file do you mean? The package.swift file? This one? I guess you mean this one, because there's no other file. Okay, this is basically, if you ever wrote a Swift package, this is the manifest of a Swift package file. So if you want to read more details about it, the best place to do that is just at Apple / and then Swift package, is it called manager, I think. Yeah, here you go. This is the Swift package manager. It's shipped with Xcode, and you probably included libraries that support it, but if you want to learn about the Swift package manifest file, you can go to the documentation, and then you can read the about the package description API, which is basically yeah, explaining the whole manifest thing. And I believe there was also a manifest file which explicitly okay, they just did it differently, but yeah, how things work is described here. You can see a package description, the package, etc. And the reason why I have something like this in a app project and not in a library project is because I'm using a modularization approach that was also presented by Point3 in a free episode. So if you want to just check out their episode on modularization, part 1, this is the one. Let me post it to you here in the chat. So they explain here how you can use Swift PM to modularize your app, and that's exactly what I'm doing. You can see like the sources folder, this all of these folders are libraries, and you can see them all also listed here. And the advantage is I can build them all independently. So I can build just, for example, let me add this dependency quickly that we need now for reusable UI. And we have a dependency to Handy SwiftUI. And package also Handy SwiftUI. But basically what this replaces is to create a lot of targets. You could also just create a lot of targets here where you just add targets, but this has a lot of overhead, and you can do it also this way. So I have a target here which is called reusable UI. Now I can select reusable UI, and I can go to my reusable UI folder, and I can only build this file and its dependencies. And that's like the advantage. And I have to provide, of course, the values here, which is the title, placeholder, and text binding. So as a title, I will just use some title. As a placeholder, e.g. some placeholder, I don't know. I don't have any better things in mind right now. And for the binding, we're just going to use a constant here, and I'm just going to call it, I don't know, some user provided text typed into this field. All right, now we should be able to see the preview here. And that's one of the reasons why I modularize the app, is because then SwiftUI preview is built much faster, because it's not building the entire project, but only this file and its dependencies. Each time I build, it's much faster, and as you just saw, it was really fast, if it works. If SwiftUI previews don't break, then it's really much faster. And this is what it looks like right now, and I believe we need to put this into a like where we extracted it from, it was a form. And it only makes sense in a form to have a section. So just going to put it into a form in the preview, so it looks like it would look like when we actually use it in a form. And that's it. This is pretty much what we had, and we just extracted it to the text editor section. And of course, where we used it before, which was a reflection view, the reflection feature now has to depend on reusable UI. But the whole point of reusable UI is probably every UI, every feature is going to depend on it at some point. Yeah, and there is actually a way I can shortcut this, because we have like model, resources, utility that are basically always needed in every feature. You can see utility, resources, model, and also the third-party dependencies might be needed. So I might want to actually create something like a target that I call, how should we call it? Feature foundation, maybe. So every feature needs these foundation dependencies. And then I can just put the dependencies in here that all of them need. For example, reusable UI, but also I believe we will nearly always have model and resources. And maybe we can add more later, and utility, of course. Maybe we can add more later, but for now I'm going to stick with these. And now everywhere where we just reference a feature foundation, and the reason I'm putting it here is because it's a different category. Like I have here. Okay, I don't have an overview here. But we start with the features, and then at the end we have the tests, right? Yeah, this is the test section. Let's actually mark it. Tests, test targets. Let's add a line here. These are the grouping targets. And these are, I would say, feature targets, something like that. And the grouping targets can now be just used here, for example. I guess composable architecture also belongs here. It's going to be used in nearly everywhere. So as you can see, the category selector no longer needs any dependencies except for feature foundation. And this is going to streamline things a lot. In this case, okay, these two actually also we need a lot. So let's put them here as well. So this then just needs to import feature foundation. Main feature is not always needed. Resources is already included. Settings also not always needed. Timer feature, SF save symbols. I think that's also a very basic one. And utility. There we go. This has gotten shorter. And we can also make this shorter. We can actually get rid of all of them here if we just add feature foundation. And just to make sure that things are still building, let's just see if things are building. And we can see an issue here because we still haven't completed this. Let's do that quickly. We're going to import reusable UI. And then instead of saying self.selection, we're just going to say text editor section. And of course, because this is used in other places, we have to make the struct public and the initializer public as well. There we go. And thanks to Expo 14, we got this whole thing auto-completed. That's also really the new, cool new feature in Expo 14. So a lot of auto-completion improvements as well. And the body needs to be public. All right, now we should be able to say text editor section. Let's build first. No, it's not working. What's going wrong here? There we go. And the title in this case is this thing. The placeholder. I mean, we already have these things, right? We just need to replace this with text editor section. Everything else stays the same. Just like that. And we can just do this and this. And that should get things building again. Can I find in scope? Yeah, that's just temporarily, I think. Where else do we have something like that? Did we change this code in this feature view? Not on purpose, right? No, we didn't change anything. But that's from the last build anyways. Cannot find text editor section in scope. Reusable UI, reusable UI. Should have access to it now. Let's just do a clean build. Cannot clean, really? I don't have a render. Oh. Okay, I have no idea why this is failing. This should actually work. Just going to try rebuilding. Does not work. All right, let's go back here and let's see if we have any errors here. Oh, no documentation comment. That's why these things were failing. That's how it should be. All right, but this is still not the solution to our building issue, which I don't quite understand why this happens. This should actually be accessible. Let's start again. Let's text editor section. Okay, I don't know why this cannot clean the build folder, but I will just use the dev cleaner app, which I can recommend. Really easy to clean things. Now I can just clean derived data. And I'm just going to reopen the project now. Compiler can't keep up with your actions. Yeah, definitely can't. And I'm not the only one. I think a lot of people out there have the same issue, that the compiler is not always fast enough to let them never wait, basically. And by the way, let me turn off the timer because I don't usually do a full 3-hour stream, but 2 full hours. And then somewhere where it makes sense, I cut it off. So I think after committing this and getting this building again, it makes sense to end the stream and just continue from there next week. We're having a build issue. And all these packages also don't work really properly. Let's see what the problem is. Does it tell me? Failed to parse the manifest file. All right. Okay, so we do definitely have an issue here. Did we forget anything anywhere? Like, we do have feature foundation as a target. I didn't add it here because it doesn't make much sense to build it because it's just a grouping target. It's not really a target in itself. There is no code for it. And thus I won't add it here. Otherwise we need to add a folder for it. Instead it's just a target that has dependencies that we can import elsewhere. At least that's how I meant it to work. I hope it does work like that. Is there a typo here somewhere? I can't see one. Commas are there. All right, you know what? We're going to revert the changes which we don't really need. This is like a separate step. I think we should add it to our to-dos. Group and create grouped targets in package.swift manifest for less dependencies. Dependencies. There we go. All right, now let's try to just revert this as much as possible for where we need it. I think this is the one we want to actually keep, the new target. And I guess it makes sense to have the marks as well, at least for this one here. And the category selector. Why is this new? No, it's just moved. All right, I'm going to add that elsewhere, but this we can keep, and this one we can keep as well. Everything else I just want to revert. So let's discard these changes, and let's get back here and add the mark again, and this one could be feature targets. And we could mark grouping targets. We don't have any, they are empty right now, but I think it's fine to, yeah, maybe just add a developer warning. I'm not sure if that's going to work inside of an array, maybe not. Let's just do it like this. Let's see if this builds again. Yeah, this is looking much better, and now we can, this should be building. I think everything should be building now. Let's do the app. And the whole point why we did this was because in the category selector, why we extracted that view, because in the category selector we wanted to reuse that when adding it here. And inside here we are in a list and not in a form, and that's maybe a problem because this one is created as a section. So maybe I'm not going to use a section here. This doesn't make it very reusable. And then let's also rename it. This is a text editor. A text editor, titled text editor, titled text editor. There we go. And now we have to, of course, fix the usage in the, where did we use it? In the reflection feature. Instead of this directly, we have to put everything into its own section. And this has not been renamed properly. Titled text editor, there we go. Let's actually edit, make multi-edit. So if you don't know what I'm doing right now, I'm clicking Command Option E to mark multiple places, and I can edit all of them at the same time. And I can do titled text editor section, and this is Command Option and then opening bracket to move it up. And now, because it's doing this weird indentation thing, I just do this Control I to re-indent, and that saves some time. And this should actually be the same thing now, except for here now we can actually use it. I'm just going to call it titled text editor. We don't import it yet. Import reusable UI. Okay, something is still wrong here. Do you forget to add it to? We need reusable UI in category selector. Yes, that's the point. That's the problem. There we go. And the title of this is going to be focus title. Although this is going to be a localized one, so let's actually try to localize this using Remafox and our translation key. By the way, I think we have not really adjusted them. Yeah, we have not adjusted them yet. We should do that. This is in the timer feature. Do we call it timer feature? I really don't remember. Timer, just timer. And that's actually an idea. An idea here. Improve RemaFox by adding auto completion similar existing entries in the key section, so you can easily add new keys to existing structures. I think that's an idea that could make sense, but let's continue here. So we want to have a timer. This is the focus topic dot title. No translation comment, and we just call it focus topic. Focus Thema, I guess, is the German one. Let's just add it. And it did not work. All right, in this case, we can just add it ourselves. Okay, this is also not editable. Let me open this again. Show the add translation. Let's cancel. I still can't edit. This is also disabled. That's too bad. If you change the file, I think, then you run into problems, like I did with localizable strings file. Now it works. Okay. Yeah, RemaFox always copies the text that it tries to insert here, just in case something goes wrong, like I did right now. And thankfully, I can just paste it like that. As a placeholder, what do we want to have as a placeholder? Oh, Tinazo H, thank you for following. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. I hope you're having fun here. Maybe not fun exactly, but you can get some use of this stream. All right, let's add our translation here, and I actually want to translate the text. What's a placeholder? What placeholder makes sense for a focus topic? E.g. It could be the focus topic, like what makes sense as its focuser? What do we have as a theme here in the application, which we don't have open anymore? The theme is like a developer, and the placeholder could be fix the animation bug, something like that. This is like the focus topic, and this is a placeholder. Yeah, why not? Let's translate that. In this case, we have timer dot focus topic dot placeholder, and we already have the English text here, which was added by RemaFox because I marked it, and German text could be behebe den Animationsfehler, something like that. And in this case, it worked. And next up, text binding. That's the storage part, and for that we need to go into the store and add some things in here. I think this is the place where I'm going to stop the stream, so let's add here a to-do. Continue here by adding a state text field for the focus topic connecting to the DB plus etc. So this is the place where we're going to continue next time, and we do have some things that are worth committing. This one not yet, except maybe for that, or at least yeah, not finished yet, but this is for sure something we improved. These translations can be added, and this is like, you can see what RemaFox is doing. It added like this string that you can reference, and we have also improved that. All right, and the whole purpose of this was to set a proper focus topic. There we go. Add a focus topic entry field, text field, when starting timer. That's basically the whole point, but we have not finished it yet. And yeah, that's about it for the stream for me. Fun, everything is perfect. Devam hocam. Dankeschön. Teşekkürler. All right. So just for everybody who was not here at the start of the stream, I'm going to quickly recap what I already said at the start of the stream. So first off, Swift Evolution Monthly. I did not write an issue in August because on Swift Evolution, the changes that came to Swift within August, they were really small or low-level changes, and one of them was even just a documentation change. So no change to Swift even at all, just changing a documentation to like make sure that a specific behavior about sorting stays the same long term. So yeah, smaller things. So I waited another month, and I'm going to write the next issue very soon. So it should come out before the end of the month. Then we had the RemaFox 1.0 beta 4 release, which is also the last beta. So I really made sure that I fix a lot of issues here. And this is, again, the last round of bug fixes that I wanted to do before releasing the app fully in the open. And I tested with a few open source projects as well. And I tweeted about it, so you can even see the open source projects. And feel free to follow also RemaFox app here on Twitter, which would be really great because then you can always stay up to date with what's coming next year. And it's a really cool app for developers. So if you're an iOS developer and you have an app that's translated or that's not translated yet because you find translation a bit complicated, you might want to follow this account for sure. And lastly, more private or personal news from me, maybe relevant for those who are in the stream and are hoping to watch the stream regularly. I wanted to go to Japan for a very long time. I already explained this at the beginning of the stream. I'm not going to go into the details yet, but basically I waited for a year now, more or less, and now finally Japan has reopened, and I'm really excited about this. And we're going to go to Japan with my wife at the end of October, sometime at the end of October. And we're going to be there for a couple of months. So we're trying to learn Japanese, and I think that's the best place to learn Japanese in Japan. And we're thinking about maybe living there, so I think it makes sense to learn a language, and that's what we're trying to do there. And we also want to travel because my wife has just finished her studies, and I think it's a good time to just travel a bit. And yeah, we're really excited about this, but there's a lot of things to do, so I'm going to try to continue streaming every Friday in the next few weeks as well, but I can't promise that I will be also streaming during the Japan trip. I will try to, but we'll see how things go. But yeah, that's really the personal news here. And yeah, that's it for today. Other than that, I don't have anything to say. Of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like this video right now down below, and also subscribe if you're not subscribed yet to stay up to date. And I also mentioned during the stream today, I am preparing an iOS course. Maybe that's going to come after the Japan trip, but definitely I'm planning it, and I'm going to have a free iOS course up on YouTube where I cover a lot of different topics. And it's going to be for absolute beginners and also some pros. I think I'm going to learn a few things here and there. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's been planned also for a very long time. I hope you're going to like that. So subscribe if you don't want to miss that. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching. And for everyone watching on Twitch, I'm going to check if there's anyone we can rate together so you can continue watching development. Otherwise, thank you everyone for watching, and see you next time. Bye.